All right, I'm here with Ian Merriweather, and we're talking about the Pixie Dust Farmers. And I got a couple questions for you, Ian. First of all, how are you doing today?
I'm doing quite all right, mate. Thanks for asking me to be here.
All right. So, do you remember when you first met Charles?
Well, it's been a long time ago, mate, but I can remember. I believe it was in Wiltshire. That's where I was living at the time. And Charles had came over from the States to work with another band. And I believe we met at a club and got introduced and got on quite well. And we started talking about music and making music and playing in a band. And got along quite well, if I remember right. No, I think that's how it all got started.
I think I first met Ian down on the Strip in LA. He was actually there creating balloon animals. It was quite an experience watching him do the triple giraffe, and I stood there amazed. And after he made the animal there, he put down the balloons and picked up a little timbali. I remember timbali kit that he had, and started beating out some kind of rhythmic African dance. And I was moved, and I said, "Hello, you don't look like you're from around here, and I would like you to play in my band." He said, "Sure," and he spat at me, and it started off on the good foot from there. Yes. So tell me, Ian, what was that first show like?
Well, if I remember right, I think our first show was in California, in LA, at Whiskey. Charles had convinced me to bring us in the band from Wiltshire over, and we moved and we formed the band. And our first show, I think we opened for Motley Crue. That was a wild show, if I remember right. The place was packed, and Charles and I were both rather nervous, but with a little help of a little libation, we were ready to go, and we rocked them. I think I remember the Motley bunch came up afterwards and said, "You boys rocked. You're very good. We liked you." And Charles and I were very proud because it was pretty great, if I remember right. All right, mate, you got a smoke, eh?
Well, it's been a long time ago, but I think back on it now. I believe we were over in Wiltshire, actually. Ian talked me into going over there. And if I remember right, I think we played with the band Accept. And it was quite an interesting show. I believe that was the one where Ian passed out, fell through the drum kit onto the stage. And I just kept playing. It was a really interesting time. Udo came and talked to us afterwards, and said that we were mediocre at best, and I took that as a compliment.
Do you remember where you were the first time you heard your hit, "Rock Me, Rock You," on the radio?
Oh, yeah. The first time we heard that song, I was actually with Ian. We were together, I believe at the White Castle. We frequented that place a lot, and it would kind of cut in and cut out through the intercom of the orders being ready, and we thought, wow, we've made it. It was pretty amazing at the time. I wasn't even for sure it was us. I thought it was Deep Purple or something like that, but Ian assured me it was us, and he knew by his drumming, and you ask him, he'll tell you the same thing.
Oh, you've got some tough questions there, lad. Well, it was probably in LA, probably. I would say we recorded that album in LA, and before we went on a big tour, and I know they kicked off that hit single, "Rock Me, Rock You," and probably, if I remember right, I was riding on the Coast Highway with probably my second wife, I'm guessing, and we turned on the radio, and all of a sudden they'd come on, and it was very distinctive because Charles had this great lick right at the beginning of the song. It was just like, It was awesome, and it came on, and I thought, it's us, we're on the radio, we've made it big time. And I wanted to call Charles, but of course, you know, that was before cell phones were invented, and we didn't have cell phones then that you could talk to somebody, so what was the question again?
So Ian, when did you feel, at what point, the band was falling apart?
Well, I think, you know, Charles and I got along pretty good, and all the mates, and we went on that first tour and toured America and got along pretty well, and I imagine it was when we went on the European leg of the tour, and I got over in the old hometown, and I'll be the first to admit I probably partied more than I should have, and Charles would get upset at me because I'd hang out late and be late for rehearsals, and I think we got in a big argument. I remember about Charles wanted to extend the tour and go to Tokyo, and I wanted to lay over in Wiltshire for a month and rest in recovery, and we had words about it, and that's kind of what I think was the beginning of the end for us.
Well, I think it was during our European tour. We had played a few shows in Wiltshire, and I wanted to stay, but Ian wanted to go on to Japan. Some silly notion about being taller than all the other people there, and being some kind of a hit. And I just thought to myself, you know, that doesn't make a lot of sense at this point. You know, we partied hard for those few shows that we had. I believe three shows there on the tour, and you know, he wanted to go on. And
Charles, was there anything that you and Ian could agree on?
well, if you ask him, I'm sure he'll say that we agreed a lot on, you know, our discussions with the fathers of modern philosophy, you know, as well as our fondness for Waffle House pancakes. I think that at a time held us together, you know, closer than anything.
So at the point when you felt the band was falling apart, I mean, did you and Charles look back and think about anything you could agree on?
Yeah.
Charles, I'm sure the many fans of the Pixie Dust Farmers would like to know, what are you doing now? Are you working on any projects or anything going on?
Yes, I stay busy. I'm still making music. I'm in a 3-piece kazoo outfit that's taken me a lot of places. We're currently recording our album called Zzz. And also, you know, I have experimented some with cross stitchery, making pillowcases, quilting at times. This is a far cry from my metal roots, yes, but I feel that this is something that I need to do at this juncture of my life. I've also got a cookbook, Rastafarian cuisine, and you know, I hope you can find it. It's on Amazon.com.
All right, so we're here with Ian Merriweather, and one last question for you, Ian. What are you doing now? Any side projects or current projects you're working on?
Well, I've been in the studio actually, and working on a whole new level of music that I went to. I like to call it the Electro Polka experience, and I'm playing drums, of course, because I've been playing drums for nearly, you know, 33 years now, and I've got with some guys, and we're recording, and it's exciting, and we're making new music, and we don't have any gigs yet, but I'm trying to get us an opening spot at this soccer club opening next week down to the mall, and I think it'll be exciting. And did anybody here got any smokes, eh? Do you smoke?